Imagine for a moment that you're preparing a fresh salad, full of colors and flavors, believing you're doing the best for your health. But what if I told you that some common vegetables, ones most people think are harmless, can actually pose risks when eaten raw, and even more surprising, some of them become healthier after being cooked? In the United States, research shows that about 1 in 10 people experience digestive issues, directly linked to raw vegetables that are harder to metabolize. And among adults over 60, sensitivity to certain natural plant compounds increases significantly. That means what looks like a healthy choice might actually overload your kidneys, cause excessive gas, stomach irritation, and even reduce the absorption of essential nutrients. Have you ever felt discomfort after eating a salad with raw spinach, broccoli, or cauliflower? Or heard that raw potatoes can contain dangerous toxins? These are examples of situations that often go unnoticed but can directly affect your health, energy, and even the quality of your sleep. And the most fascinating part is that science also reveals the upside. Some vegetables, when properly cooked, release more antioxidants, vitamins, and protective compounds for your heart, vision, and even your brain. So, it's not about giving up on these foods, but learning how to consume them in a smarter, safer, and much more beneficial way. Before we dive into these secrets, leave a comment telling us which city or state you're watching this video from. And don't forget to subscribe to the Age with Strength channel. Here, you'll find simple, powerful tips to live healthier, more vibrant, and more independent lives, even after 60. And a quick reminder, this video is for educational purposes only and doesn't replace medical advice or nutritional guidance. Always consult your doctor or a health professional before making changes to your eating habits. Now that you know, not all raw vegetables are as healthy as they seem. Let's start by understanding the silent danger of eating certain raw veggies, something that might be happening in your kitchen right now without you even realizing it. When we think of healthy eating, the first image that usually comes to mind is a bowl of fresh salad filled with raw vegetables. That idea has been reinforced over the years as the ultimate symbol of health and disease prevention. But the reality is that some of these vegetables hide natural traps that can be harmful, especially for those over 60. Many vegetables contain substances called antinutrients. These compounds are naturally present in plants and act as a defense mechanism against insects and predators. The problem is, when consumed in excess and without proper preparation, they can interfere with the absorption of important minerals like calcium, iron, and magnesium. That means even if you're eating well, you might not be getting all the nutrients you need. On top of that, digestion tends to become more sensitive with age. What once caused only mild discomfort can, over time, lead to abdominal pain, persistent gas, heartburn, and even intestinal issues. According to data from the National Institute on Aging, more than 60% of older adults experience some form of digestive change, and poor diet is one of the main culprits. Another key point is that some raw vegetables contain natural toxins that are only neutralized by cooking. While small amounts aren't deadly, regular consumption can lead to cumulative issues affecting the kidneys, liver, and even the heart. This is especially concerning for people who take daily medications, as the body needs more balance to handle extra substances. So what seems like a harmless habit, eating lots of raw spinach, nibbling on a raw potato out of curiosity, or always making salads packed with uncooked cruciferous veggies, can, over time, open the door to serious problems. The body sends warning signs, but they're often mistaken for natural aging. The good news is that small changes can bring immediate relief and long-term benefits. Cooking certain vegetables lightly steaming, or quickly boiling, not only eliminates risks but also boosts their nutritional potential. That's exactly what we're about to explore. Starting with one of the most popular items on the American table, cucumber. Raw cucumber light, but tricky for digestion. Cucumber is one of the most commonly eaten raw vegetables in the United States, found in salads, sandwiches, green juices, and even as a refreshing snack. It gives the impression of being a light, hydrating, no-worries food. But in reality, for those over 60, raw cucumber might be less harmless than it seems. The first issue lies in its skin and seeds. They're packed with insoluble fiber, which can irritate the stomach lining and cause digestive discomfort, especially in people with gastritis, acid reflux, or sensitive guts. According to experts at the Mayo Clinic, foods high in hard, fermentable fiber are common triggers for gas and bloating. Another detail is that cucumbers contain compounds called cucurbitacins. These are responsible for the slightly bitter taste. In some varieties and in excess, can increase acidity and cause heartburn or nausea in sensitive individuals. For those who already struggle with acid reflux, eating too much raw cucumber, especially at night, can mean an uncomfortable night ahead. That doesn't mean cucumber needs to be cut from your diet. It's still a good source of hydration and vitamins like vitamin K, but to make it more digestion-friendly, some simple steps can help peel off some of the skin, remove the seeds, and eat smaller portions. Also, incorporating cucumber into cooked dishes, like light stir-fries or soups, can greatly reduce the risk of discomfort. That way, cucumber stops being a hidden enemy and starts playing the role everyone wants from it: refreshing, hydrating, and helping to balance the body. And speaking of hidden enemies, few vegetables are as sneaky when eaten raw as spinach, despite its superfood status. It can cause serious issues if not prepared the right way. Raw spinach oxalates and kidney. Risk spinach has always been associated with strength and vitality, often referred to as a soup. It's rich in iron, calcium, magnesium, and essential vitamins. But there's a lesser-known detail. When eaten raw in excess, spinach can become a health challenge, especially for those over 60. This happens because of oxalates, natural substances. Found in its leaves, oxalates bind to minerals like calcium and iron, forming crystals that the body can't absorb. In practice, that means instead of strengthening bones and muscles, too much raw spinach can actually reduce the absorption of key nutrients, and the risk goes further. These crystals can accumulate in the kidneys and increase the chance of kidney stone formation, a fairly common issue among older adults. According to the National Kidney Foundation, about 1 in 10 Americans will have kidney stones at some point, and oxalate-rich diets are one of the main risk factors. In addition, raw spinach also contains substances called goitrogens, which in excess can interfere with thyroid function. While this isn't serious for most people, individuals with thyroid conditions need to be extra cautious. The good news is that simply cooking spinach changes the whole picture. When sautéed or quickly steamed, much of the oxalates are lost in the water, reducing risks and making its minerals more bioavailable. That means by cooking spinach, you actually absorb more of its iron, calcium, and magnesium, and lower your risk of kidney stones. So, if you enjoy adding spinach to your meals, go for cooked versions whenever possible in soups, omelets, pasta, or alongside meats and fish. That way, this powerful vegetable truly supports your health without any unwanted side effects. And spinach isn't alone in this category. Another much-loved veggie, especially in salads, can be quite tough on digestion when eaten raw. Broccoli, raw broccoli, tough to digest and nutrients that only show up when cooked broccoli is considered one of the healthiest vegetables in the world. It's packed with fiber, vitamins C and K, and powerful antioxidants. It's gained a reputation as a true protector of the heart and immune system. But there's a catch. When eaten raw in large amounts, broccoli can become a silent enemy, especially for older adults. The first issue is how hard it is to digest. Raw broccoli contains very tough fibers and sulfur compounds that ferment quickly in the gut. The result? Excessive gas, cramps, and that bloated feeling that can last for hours. For younger adults, this might just be an annoying side effect. But for people over 60 whose digestive systems tend to be more sensitive and sluggish, it can affect appetite, sleep, and even energy levels the next day. Another rarely discussed point is that raw broccoli contains goitrogens, which can interfere with iodine absorption and thyroid function. For those already taking thyroid medication, consuming large amounts of raw broccoli could reduce treatment effectiveness. That doesn't mean broccoli should be avoided. It just means that how you prepare it makes all the difference. And here's the most fascinating part. Cooked broccoli is actually more nutritious in some ways than raw. When steamed or lightly cooked, it releases compounds like sulforaphane and indole-3-carbinol, which actively fight inflammation and protect against cancer cells. Studies from Johns Hopkins University have shown that these antioxidants found in cruciferous vegetables play a key role in slowing cellular aging and preventing. That means a simple change in habit can completely shift the health impact of broccoli. Instead of piling it raw into salads, try lightly steaming it. It becomes tender, flavorful, and easier for the body to absorb its nutrients. And if you want to switch things up, you can roast it with olive oil in the oven, turning a basic food into a dish full of benefits. So yes, broccoli is still a superfood, but it needs to be prepared smartly to truly act like one. And the same logic applies to its close cousin, cauliflower, another popular veggie that can cause serious discomfort when eaten raw. Cauliflower is one of the most versatile vegetables in American kitchens. It's used in salads, soups, baked dishes, and even as a substitute for rice or pizza crust in low-carb diets. Thanks to its reputation as a healthy, modern food, many people have started eating it raw too, in prepackaged salads or veggie trays served with dips. But what seems like a light choice can quickly turn into a real digestive headache. That's because raw cauliflower is rich in sulfur compounds and very tough fibers. When they reach the intestines, they ferment quickly and produce excess gas. The result is bloating, abdominal cramps, and even pain, often mistaken for other issues. For older adults whose digestive systems tend to be more delicate and less efficient, this effect can be even more intense and frequent. Raw cauliflower antinutrients that weaken and irritate cauliflower also contains antinutrients like oxalates and goitrogen. Oxalates interfere with the absorption of important minerals like calcium, increasing the risk of weakened bones and kidney stones in people who are predisposed. Goitrogens, on the other hand, can disrupt thyroid function when consumed in excess, a concern especially relevant for those undergoing hormone treatment. But here's the good news. Cooking completely transforms this scenario. When cauliflower is steamed, roasted, or even lightly sautéed, most of these compounds are neutralized, making it much lighter and easier to digest. And even better, heat helps release antioxidants that fight inflammation and strengthen the immune system, exactly what the body needs to age with vitality. This means you don't have to give up on cauliflower. Just change how you prepare it. Instead of eating it raw in large portions, go for cooked or roasted versions. For example, roasted cauliflower florets with olive oil and herbs become a delicious, nutritious dish that won't cause discomfort. A simple choice, but one that makes a big difference in your daily routine. And if raw cauliflower can cause so many problems, another very popular vegetable in American salads also deserves a closer look. Bell peppers, tasty and colorful, but potentially a real enemy for sensitive stomachs. Raw bell peppers, beautiful, but rough on the gut. Bell peppers are among the most colorful and appealing vegetables found in grocery stores. Red, green, yellow, even purple, they're a common feature in salads, stir-fries, and stuffed dishes. Their vibrant look gives the impression of freshness and health. But the truth is that when eaten raw, bell peppers can be quite a challenge for the digestive system, especially in older adults. That's because bell peppers contain a high concentration of phenolic compounds and insoluble fiber, beneficial in moderation, but potentially irritating to the stomach lining when consumed raw, for people with reflux, gastritis, or frequent heartburn. Raw bell peppers can act as an immediate trigger, causing burning sensations, discomfort, and even trouble sleeping after meals. Another issue is their tough outer skin, which is difficult to digest. Even younger people often report bloating or a heavy feeling after eating salads with raw peppers. But again, heat changes everything. When bell peppers are sautéed, roasted, or grilled, their skin softens, and their compounds become easier for the body to process. Cooking also helps release more carotenoids like lutein and zeaxanthin, natural protectors of eyesight, which is crucial for healthy aging. So if you love bell peppers, you don't have to cut them out of your diet. Just avoid eating them raw in excess. Opt for cooked, roasted, or grilled versions, which not only reduce the risk of stomach irritation, but also boost the health benefits. It's a simple swap that can make a big difference in your daily well-being. And just like with bell peppers, there's another food that many Americans eat raw thinking it's healthy, but it hides unwanted compounds that only disappear with heat. Mushrooms. Raw mushrooms, trendy, but not always safe. Mushrooms have taken center stage in American cuisine in recent years. Once seen as a gourmet ingredient, They're now found in pizzas, salads, soups, veggie burgers, and even dietary supplements. What many don't realize, however, is that eating raw mushrooms might not be as healthy as it seems, and in some cases could pose silent risks. One major concern is the presence of agaritine and agarine, natural compounds that mushrooms produce to defend themselves against microorganisms. In their raw state, these substances can be mildly toxic and irritate the digestive system, causing stomach discomfort, mild nausea, and gas. While symptoms are usually subtle, frequent, and long-term consumption of raw mushrooms isn't recommended, especially for people with sensitive digestion. Another important point: raw mushrooms may carry traces of microorganisms and environmental residues. Unlike vegetables that undergo thorough washing, mushrooms easily absorb moisture and can retain microscopic dirt. For older adults whose immune systems are often more fragile, this can increase the risk of foodborne infections. But once again, cooking is the solution, when sautéed, roasted, or cooked. Mushrooms lose most of their agaritine and release powerful antioxidants like ergothioneine, known for protecting cells from premature aging. Studies published by the National Institutes of Health (NIH) show that this compound has potential to protect the brain and reduce inflammation linked to chronic diseases. Cooking also enhances the flavor and makes mushrooms much easier to digest. A simple serving of mushrooms sautéed in olive oil can provide important nutrients like B vitamins, selenium, and fiber, all without overwhelming the stomach. So, if you often toss raw mushrooms into salads or eat them cold, it's time to rethink that habit. By sautéing, grilling, or adding them to soups and stews, you ensure not only better safety, but also much greater health benefits. And speaking of vegetables that hide risks when eaten raw, we come to another very popular item in grocery stores and farmers markets, one that deserves special attention. Green beans. Green beans, lectins that can harm when eaten. Raw green beans, also known as string beans, are a beloved food on many American tables. They show up in classic sides like Thanksgiving's green bean casserole and in fresh salads too. However, few people know that raw green beans can pose a health risk due to substances called lectins. Lectins, a hidden threat. In raw green beans, lectins are natural proteins found in many grains and legumes, acting as a defense mechanism in plants against insects and predators. The issue is that, in the human body, they can irritate the gastrointestinal tract. Eating raw or undercooked green beans can lead to symptoms like abdominal pain, gas, nausea, and diarrhea. In older individuals, whose digestive systems are often more sensitive, these effects can be even more pronounced. Research highlighted by the National Institutes of Health shows that undercooked legumes are one of the leading causes of mild food poisoning in the United States, with thousands of cases every year. While rarely fatal, the discomfort can be quite severe, and it takes only a small amount of raw green beans to trigger symptoms. The good news is that lectins are highly sensitive to heat. Simply cooking green beans properly will almost completely neutralize these compounds. A quick steam or light boil makes the vegetable safe and nutritious, preserving its fiber, antioxidants, and vitamins like vitamin C and folate, essential for heart health and memory. So, if you're in the habit of tasting a raw green bean while prepping your meals, it's time to break that habit. Also, avoid dishes that serve raw green beans, even in small quantities. The secret is in the preparation. Cooked green beans support heart and digestive health. Raw, they can be And speaking of vegetables, people often taste raw without knowing the risks. It's worth briefly mentioning another curious example: raw potatoes. Rare in most diets, yes, but they can have serious consequences if eaten. Raw potatoes, common but should never be eaten. Uncooked potatoes are one of the most widely consumed foods in the U.S., appearing in mashed dishes, roasts, soups, salads, and of course as fries. But here's a key rule: potatoes should never be eaten raw. While it's not a common practice, some people have tasted a raw piece while peeling or preparing the vegetable, not realizing it can be risky. The problem lies in a substance called solanine, a natural compound found in the nightshade family. Solanine acts as a defense mechanism for the plant against insects and fungi. But in the human body, it can cause symptoms like nausea, stomach pain, vomiting, and even confusion in more severe cases. The concentration is highest in green, sprouting potatoes, clear signs they're no longer safe to eat. Raw potatoes also contain a type of resistant starch that the human digestive system struggles to break down. This starch passes through the stomach and small intestine intact, fermenting in the colon and causing gas and discomfort. For those with slower digestion, this can be especially unpleasant. Thankfully, cooking transforms potatoes completely. When baked, boiled, or steamed, the heat neutralizes most of the solanine and breaks down the resistant starch, making it a more accessible and energy-efficient food for the body. And when cooked with the skin on, potatoes also provide valuable fiber that supports digestive balance. So the rule is simple: always eat potatoes cooked, never taste them raw, not even out of curiosity. What seems like a harmless bite can lead to unnecessary discomfort. And by tossing out green or sprouting potatoes, you're giving your health an extra layer of protection. And after so many examples of vegetables that can be risky when raw, it's time to flip the script with some good news. Certain vegetables actually become more nutritious when cooked. Let's start with a fan favorite: carrots. Carrots, more powerful after cooking carrots, are among the most beloved vegetables in American kitchens. A staple from childhood in purees, salads, and even cakes, they symbolize simplicity and health. They're a great source of fiber, vitamins, and minerals, but their main claim to fame lies in carotenoids, the pigments that give them their orange color and play a key role in protecting vision, skin, and heart health. Most people eat carrots raw, shredded in salads, in sticks, as a quick snack, or dipped in sauces. And yes, in this form they provide fiber and crunch. But what many don't know is that carrots become even more powerful when cooked. That's because heat breaks down the plant's cell walls, releasing much more of their carotenoids, especially beta-carotene. Beta-carotene is converted by the into vitamin A, essential for healthy eyes and skin. It also acts as an antioxidant, helping to neutralize free radicals that speed up cellular aging. According to the National Eye Institute, a diet rich in vitamin A and other antioxidants can lower the risk of age-related macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss among older adults in the USA. Note an important factor is nutrient bioavailability. When carrots are cooked, especially when paired with a bit of olive oil or other healthy fats, the body can absorb up to 3 times more beta-carotene than from raw carrots. That means a simple plate of steamed carrots can offer far more antioxidant protection than a bowl of raw ones. Cooking also makes carrots softer and easier to chew, a big plus for those with sensitive teeth or dental prosthetics. This small but often overlooked detail makes a big difference in maintaining a pleasant and nutritious diet without discomfort. It's worth noting that cooking doesn't need to be long. Ideally, steam or boil them briefly, just until they're tender but still vibrant in color. Roasting is also a great option, bringing out their natural sweetness without compromising nutrients. And when combined with a healthy fat, like olive oil or avocado carotenoid, absorption is further enhanced. So, carrots are a great example of how cooking can turn a simple vegetable into a true source of longevity. Eating raw carrots now and then is fine, but regularly, including cooked versions, is a smart strategy to strengthen your eyes, skin, and heart. And if cooked carrots already offer so many benefits, another popular vegetable proves even more powerful. When heated, tomatoes, which release a special anti-E. Tomatoes are one of the most common foods in the American diet. Sauces, soups, juices, salads, sandwiches, they're everywhere. Besides being tasty and versatile, tomatoes are among the top sources of a crucial antioxidant for healthy aging. Lycopene. Lycopene is the pigment that gives tomatoes their red color and is known for its protective effects against several age-related diseases. It works by reducing free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells and accelerate aging. Studies from the Harvard School of Public Health show that lycopene-rich diets are associated with lower risks of cardiovascular disease and certain cancers, especially prostate cancer. Here's the big reveal. The human body absorbs much more lycopene from cooked tomatoes than from raw ones. That's because heat breaks down the tomato's cellular structure, releasing the lycopene and increasing its bioavailability. That's why a simple homemade tomato sauce can deliver up to 3 times more absorbable lycopene than a fresh tomato salad. Another important point, lycopene is fat-soluble, meaning it dissolves better in the presence of healthy fats. So cooking tomatoes with olive oil, avocado oil, or even some chopped nuts significantly boosts the absorption of this protective antioxidant. This combo is so effective that many nutritionists consider it one of the secrets behind the Mediterranean diet, globally recognized for its contributions to longevity. Beyond lycopene, cooked tomatoes also offer a healthy dose of potassium, which helps regulate blood pressure, and vitamin C, important for immunity. While some vitamin C is lost during cooking, the increase in lycopene more than makes up for it, especially for those aiming to protect their heart and brain. Tomatoes, then, are a perfect example of how science busts myths. Raw isn't always better. In the case of tomatoes, cooking enhances their protective power, making them even more valuable for those who want to age with quality and independence. And now that we've explored which vegetables can be problematic when raw and which become healthier when cooked, it's time to wrap up our journey with some practical tips and a final reflection on how simple choices can transform your health. After learning all these details about vegetables that can be harmful when eaten raw and those that become even more nutritious when cooked, the big question is, how can you apply this knowledge day to day? The answer lies in making smart, simple choices. Whenever possible, lightly cook vegetables like spinach, broccoli, cauliflower, bell peppers, and green beans. Steaming is one of the best methods because it preserves most vitamins while neutralizing harmful compounds. Roasting or sautéing are also effective strategies, and they bring out great flavor too. Just remember, no need to overcook, just soften them while keeping their color vibrant. Another key tip is to pair cooked veggies with healthy fats like olive oil, avocado, or nuts. This boosts the absorption of fat-soluble antioxidants like the lycopene in tomatoes and the beta-carotene in carrots. It's a small detail, but one that multiplies the benefits of your meals. And of course, always listen to your body. If a raw vegetable often causes gas, heartburn, or discomfort, avoid eating it that way. Gut health is one of the foundations of longevity, and every small tweak you make in your diet can result in more energy, less pain, and a better quality of life. Now, before we finish, I want to share something special with you. Did you know that there are hundreds of natural solutions, proven, safe, and within your reach to relieve pain, regulate blood pressure, improve sleep, digestion, and even support diabetes control in a complementary way? If you're interested in a more natural, intelligent, and effective path to take care of your health, then you need to discover the Natural Healing Guide. This complete ebook brings together the very best of natural medicine: herbs, essential oils, supplements, home remedies for blood pressure, cholesterol, anxiety, pain, skin, and the best part, with clear, safe, and practical guidance even for those who are just starting out. The link is in the first pinned comment of this video. Don't miss it. Taking care of your health doesn't have to be complicated. Simple choices like cooking certain vegetables instead of eating them raw can ease discomfort, protect your heart, preserve your vision, and strengthen your immunity. The key is to stay informed and use knowledge to your advantage. And now I want to hear from you. Which of these vegetables do you usually eat raw? Have you ever felt discomfort after eating them? Share your experience in the comments. It might help many others in our community. Remember, aging with health and independence doesn't require big sacrifices. It's all about conscious choices that add up over time. May every meal be a step in your journey toward vitality and well-being. See you in the next video.